Hey guys, good morning, Fit Fam. All right, so I am actually at it's not the dealership, pit stop, getting my truck some work done. Okay, she needs a new shoe fixed, she needs an oil change, and we're getting some other stuff done. So I am going to go ahead and do my video here. But before we begin, I sent out a message, or actually put it in my story last week to ask you guys, or over the weekend, whenever that was, to ask you guys how you felt about doing group virtual training. So I have I usually do one-to-one programming, but I am open to, I've had some people asking, do you do groups? And I was like, well, something to gladly get started in. I'll be happy to. So I put all the details together, got everything set up. So we now have a group virtual 12-week program, and I'm super excited about that. So I see some of you are watching. Just go ahead and comment, because I can't see who you are. Hey! So while he's supposed to be fixing my vehicle, all right, so we're gonna go ahead and we are going to jump in. Like I said, I have that group virtual training. So if you and 3 friends want to do a group together, there's so many things. Like, I've got all the details finally finalized, and I'm excited to be starting that. And there's an incentive. So the more, however many friends you bring in, you'll get $100 off of your program. So if you bring 3 friends in, you get $300 off. So yeah, so it's you and some friends can get together and do a virtual programming. So we're gonna go ahead and jump into the gut-brain connection, right? Because this is super important. So for years, even over the last decade, all right, doctors have rejected the gut-brain connection, which I don't know why. It's like, what do? We just cut our head off and the rest of our body just lays there and does its own thing. It's never connected to our brain. I don't know why it would be like that. But our brain truly drives the function of everything else, right? They all work together. Everything works together in the body. Your heart, your brain, all of your organs, everything is connected, okay? But the main thing is, if your gut is off balance, everything else is going to be off balance, right? So if you ever get to a point where you're getting hungry, all right, and you're unsure of what you want to eat, whatever, and you start getting hangry, that ends up being a big deal, right? That affects your brain. So there has to be a connection when your body is low on nutrients and it feels like it needs to get a good dip, right? Like it needs more. It's not a dip, it needs full. So whenever you feel like you need to eat, that's the whole thing that drives our emotions, everything, okay? It's all connected. So we've learned several different things about the brain and the gut and the brain connection, right? So it's connected through something called the vagus nerve. But this whole connection and what we actually eat really affects the productivity of the body and the brain, right? So it tells the brain, turn on these things, turn on these hormones, or release these hormones so that way the body can do this stuff, or release this so the body can do this. It sends genetic information. So if you're eating crap, then you're sending crap information, right? You're just not getting the amount of info that your body needs to perform at its optimal best, right? So how do we bring everything back into balance? The number one thing is going to be looking at the gut. 9 times out of 10, it all goes back to the gut, right? Most people have so many issues with their gut that they don't even realize, or they don't connect the two. And like I said, doctors don't do that. So for years, I had been going to doctor after doctor after doctor, specialist after specialist after specialist, until finally I told them, look, I think it's something of what I'm eating. They're like, nah, hush posh. No, like it's legit. It has to do with what you're eating, right? I'm not a physician, but I can guarantee you I know my body, right? So I encourage you to reach out to a naturopathic doctor or a physician or whatever to get some direction for what I'm about to tell you. But we're gonna learn different ways that we can look into some gut healing. Okay, so like leaky gut syndrome. That's number one that I want to talk about. Leaky gut syndrome, caused by holes in the intestine walls, allowing for bacteria and toxins to enter into the bloodstream from our foods, right? Giving our brain that bad information. So like if you've ever had preservatives, okay, like majority of people have issues with preservatives. Why? Because they contain crap. So if you have issues with preservatives or nitrates or anything like that, if you're eating things and you have a leaky gut, or your gut walls are just not sealed properly, then all of that information, all of that junk that's in there is going to seep through, and it's going to affect the brain. So you could end up with migraines, you could end up with stomach pains, you could end up with bloating, inflammation, joint aches and pains, you know, just the list goes on with all those things, right? Especially brain fog. I can tell you on Saturdays when I eat junk, and then Mondays when I go to do these videos, my brain is still trying to clear up. Okay, I still can't have great thoughts, things like that. So that leaky gut syndrome has a lot to do with it. You could feel weak and sluggish. You could just be low on energy. And like I said, inflammation, joint pains and aches. When I go to eat something that I know I'm not supposed to have, you can book it that night. I am going to be like, oh, why does my body hurt so bad? My legs, or like feel like restless leg syndrome all the time. My lower back is just like on fire. My shoulder blades, my joints hurt, everything, okay? So your gut requires good gut bugs, so probiotics, prebiotics, the proper functioning villi, right? So it needs magnesium to reduce stress in the body. So when you're more stressed, your gut is going to be jacked, right? That's not a good thing. The more stress that you put into, so stress in general, we know is a bad word, right? It's like a terrible word. It's just not even good. So when you have more stress flowing through, your body's not going to be functioning at the optimal function that it needs to be doing, right? It's just not going to be optimal. So we need magnesium. We have got to reduce the stress in the body. We need zinc. We need glutathione. That glutathione is going to promote detoxification in the body to get rid of toxins properly. So making sure that you're not eating your meat well done, you know, when you do eat meat, because meat is going to help produce that glutathione in your body to help with detoxification, which is why I'm not, you know, really big into veganism, but I'm very big into predominantly plant-based, because we still need that meat. We still need high glutathione levels, right? We need vitamin A to seal the gut, okay? This is something that you can get from a lot of orange foods. So carrots, orange bell peppers, citrus fruits, things like that, right? And then we need zinc. Zinc is not only going to boost your immune function, but having a good supportive immune function is also going to give you good gut health as well. So it decreases those stressful environments, right? It's one of the first things that's depleted if you're somebody who works out really hard, or you're somebody who stresses really, really bad. You live in a high stress job, then you're going to deplete your zinc very quickly. All right, so some outside sources that we can check into for healing and sealing the gut could be aloe juice. It really helps with any gut upset. So if you have constant diarrhea, if you're vomiting, you got a stomach bug, drink some aloe juice. I can tell you, I had one of my children who was sick for 6 days. All right, she had contracted a stomach virus, and it threw her gut out of whack so bad to the point that she vomited anything she ate for 6 days. And this mama was freaking out so much that I could not remember aloe juice. And so thankfully I had a friend who is on the same page as I am into that holistic health, and she told me, did you try some aloe juice? And I'm like, no, I completely forgot. So I ran out, got some, 1 ounce. That's all it took, 1 ounce. Fed her the next meal, no more throwing up. Okay, so it really, really does help. I've given those suggestions and that testimony to so many people, and they're like, oh my gosh, it really helps. And I'm like, duh, you know, because that aloe juice, aloe vera, as we know, is like for wound healing, right? You know, but it has so many other healing benefits as well. So then there's the Heal All Leaf Tincture. Now, I'm not going to go tell you what the scientific name is. It's like Prunella vulgaris or something, but this is my #1 go-to with aloe juice whenever I have gut upsets. So whenever I eat so much gluten-laden, sugar-laden, all these kinds of junk food that really throw my gut off, this is my #1 thing, is the Heal All Leaf Tincture with the aloe juice. Okay, so I do that like all day long. All right, bone broth. Bone broth is really good, especially when you make your own because, well, you know where it comes from, right? Take your own bones. You basically cook them down until they're like mush. The ligaments, the tendons, everything's kind of falling off, and you're drinking that, right? Because all of that good stuff is going to help seal your gut lining, that good connective tissue. I know that sounds weird, but if you think about it, when you eat chicken, you're actually eating muscles. Then slippery elm, I used to put mine in my bone broth, and it makes it kind of like a gelatin, but I just keep stirring it, keep drinking it, and it helps to seal the gut as well. So basically there's just so many things that you can do for promoting good gut healing, good gut function. These things have all been working hand in hand. I seek my naturopath whenever I've got something and I just can't figure it out. If I've gone through all of my go-tos for everything and I can't figure it out, I just call her up and I'm like, yo, bro, I need some help. And so she has always been there to help me. But that's what I'm trying to tell you guys is, you know, if you don't have that direction or you're not as informed as, you know, you should be, you feel you should be, or you need to be, then go ahead and seek out that naturopath. You know, seek somebody who has more expertise than you do, because that's where you're going to do a lot of your learning. I mean, I can't tell you how many things I've learned in the last year just by calling on people that have more expertise in things than I did. So all of our bodies are different. You know, that's something that we have to continue to remember. We may have similar situations, but each person's body reacts differently to different things. So what works for me may not work for you, but always do your research, always ask your physicians, basically your naturopath, because the doctor is just going to be like, you want me to write you a script? Here you go. You know, so you want to make sure that you're doing everything that you can to get down to the root cause and not masking the issue. And then if all else fails, the last thing that I do, if I'm like 100% not sure, I just muscle test myself to see what my body is asking for. I do that like on a daily basis, even with things that I'm allergic to, so that I can find, so like fish oil, can't have fish oil, but even when I take when I need that, or I know that I need some type of omega-3 DHA, I'll hold it and I'll just see where my body responds to. And if I'm low, we go at it. We go look at a different source, right? So do ask. I mean, I know it's really hard. It's like letting go of a pride thing. It's a lot of things that we don't want to do, but the best thing that you could do is always ask questions, because you're never going to get those questions answered if you don't ask. So hope this video helps you guys out. I hope you enjoy your workout for this week and your bruschetta chicken that looked completely to die for when I was looking up different recipes, and I was like getting hungry. I actually had to go eat right after that because I was like, bro, I'm about to cook me some bruschetta chicken. So you guys let me know how your recipe turns out, how your workouts are, and then don't forget, we are now starting registration open last Thursday for the group virtual training. Super excited about that. You get $100 off for every friend that you bring in, or every friend that wants to join with you. So super excited. You guys get that, and I will catch you on the flip side. Have a great day.